A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I want A+ English because it's so much fun. English education for you and everyone, so come along. Learn some grammar, learn a phrase, learn something new every day. Learn the A+ way. Hey, it's time to start the show. Are you ready? Good, 'cause here we go. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I want A+ English.
Hello and welcome back to A+. Reese and Laura reporting for Judy. It's day 2 of our article about unusual instruments.
Check out these strange instruments.
Yeah, there are so many to discuss. Yesterday we talked about 2 weird instruments, the handpan and
Waterphone.
the waterphone. There was another one. Begins with a K.
Kim something.
That one, yeah, very strange.
Kalimba.
Yeah,
Kalimba.
that's the one. Some unusual instruments there, and today we'll find out more. But I have a warm-up question for you first, Laura. How many instruments can you name in English? How about in Chinese?
How about I'll name some in English and you can see if you know they're Chinese.
Okay.
Test your Chinese.
All right, let's
好，
try.
最简单的 piano 你会吧？
钢琴.
对，那 violin
I don't know violin in Chinese.
小提琴，
Okay.
然后再来就是 guitar 是最简单的。吉他还有 flute， 我昨天有讲哦，我昨天有提到这个字哦。
小号 No?
小号是什么东西？
Isn't there something called a 小号？
应该是 horn 那些东西啊 ，French
Okay.
horn 还是怎么样？
No, I don't know flute.
它是就是笛子啊。
Okay.
对啊。
I know some Chinese instruments that have Chinese names even in English, like the 二胡.
二胡。
二胡.
对。
And then what's the other one that you kind of lay on the table and pull the strings like this?
古筝 ，It's like a Chinese zither.
Yeah, they're so
对。
beautiful to listen to.
那个古筝我也蛮喜欢，它有点 harp，
Yeah, it's like
有
a
点像
harp.
harp。
Yeah.
对啊，
so
竖琴好像是 harp， 好难哦。I really don't know. To be honest, some Chinese translation I have to also look up. 真的蛮难的。
Yeah, even the English names for many instruments I don't know.
You have to really know them. Oh, drums.
Drums, of course.
就是鼓啊。
Yeah.
对呀。
You guys can think about this question too. Maybe make a list of all the instruments you can name in English and in Chinese. You could make it a competition. But for now, let's get into the article and discuss more weird instruments.
Check out these strange musical instruments. Warm-up question. How many instruments can you name in English? How about in Chinese?
Kalimbas and handpans are convenient due to their size. Let's learn about some larger, stranger instruments. The glass harmonica is a little like a piano. It doesn't have strings inside its large wooden frame, though. It has glass bowls. Musicians have written beautiful songs for this instrument. Its sound is magical and sweet. The sound of the waterphone is similar to a glass harmonica. However, it's much creepier. You play it with a violin bow. It has water inside of it to change the sound. The musician moves the waterphone around to use the water in this way. Listen to some music that uses any of these instruments. See how they make you feel.
Word power. Convenient. Convenient. The MRT is a convenient way to travel around the city. The MRT is a convenient way to travel around the city. String. String. One of Brady's guitar strings broke, so she put a new one on. One of Brady's guitar strings broke, so she put a new one on. Musician. Musician. A musician often plays beautiful music at this nice restaurant. A musician often plays beautiful music at this nice restaurant. Bow. Bow. Sam forgot his violin bow, so he had to borrow one during music class. Sam forgot his violin bow, so he had to borrow one during music class.
认识字汇 Due to Due to
Frame. Frame.
Magical Magical
Creepy. Creepy.
Today's article begins by reminding us of the instruments we discussed yesterday. Kalimbas and handpans are convenient due to their size. I guess that means they're small.
Yeah, okay. Kalimba, 因为它们的大小尺寸，卡林巴琴跟手琴，它们非常的方便，所以听起来好像它是比较小的一个尺寸，不会让你觉得说很大很重之类的。Due to 就是因为由于什么什么，而刚刚提到的 convenient， 相信大家都对这个字不陌生吧？我们来看一下它的用法。为什么我觉得它很熟悉？因为 convenience store 就是便利商店。大家有没有觉得这个 convenient 长得很像便利商店那个字呢？没错 ，convenient 是它的形容词，它是表示方便的、便利的。举例来讲，如果你会骑脚踏车的话呢 ，a bike is a very convenient way of getting around。骑脚踏车四处走动很方便，但是我却不会骑，好笑吧？或者是呢，如果你要问对方说，你几点什么时候方便过来呢？在约时间的时候，可能就会用到这样的句子 ：What time would it be convenient for me to come over？ 这个是我几点过去会比较方便呢？再来看一下课文例句 ：The MRT is a convenient way to travel around the city。搭捷运是在这座城市移动很方便的方法哦。
So convenient is an adjective that means fitting in well with a person's needs, activities, and plans. Basically means it's something that's easy to do, easy to get, or to access, or to use. As Laura mentioned, we have convenience stores. They're called that because they're easy to find and they're so useful too.
And so many.
Yes, and they're open 24 hours a day. Well, at least in Taiwan they are. In the UK, it's a lot harder to find convenience stores in the middle of the night. Hey, here's a word fact for you. Do you know what they call 泡面 in China?
方便面吗？
方便面。
很方便。
We don't call them convenience noodles. We call them instant
noodles.
I just thought that was quite fun. Well, back to the article, and we're going to learn about some more instruments. Let's learn about some larger, stranger instruments.
所以我们现在来要学一学有关于更大，然后更奇特的乐器吧。我可能不会想要学，因为它搞不好很难呐。Okay.
Well, let's have a look. The article introduces the glass harmonica is a little like a piano.
Oh, I thought like harmonica because the sound of the word. 所以 glass harmonica 就是玻璃琴，它其实是有一点像钢琴哦。A little 就是有一点的意思，它有很多的用法哦，像是有的人如果在上班偷懒 ，he does as little as possible at work， 就是他上班时候能偷懒就偷懒 ，or means like a small amount of something， 一点什么量，像是 this sauce needs a little salt， 这个酱汁需要加点盐。或者是 with a little training, she could do very well. 只要有稍微加训练的话，她就可以做得很好。OK， 那还有呢 ，it can also mean slightly, like a little. I was a little bit worried by what she said. 她的话让我有点担心诶。OK.
I hope she didn't say anything bad. Well, back to the article and a description of this instrument. It doesn't have strings inside its large wooden frame, though. It has glass bowls.
OK， 所以然而它在这个它的大木头的支架里面并没有弦哦，它有的是玻璃碗。Very interesting. But first, let's take a look at this word, string. 好的，虽然 string 它有线的意思哦，不过在本课它当作是乐器的弦这样的意思哦，它是个名词。举例一个，这个大家应该就比较有感了，就是小提琴。A violin has 4 strings. 小提琴它有4根弦，或者是 guitar strings are made from steel or nylon. 现在的吉他弦都是由这个钢丝或者是尼龙而制造成的哦。我们来看一下课文例句哦。One of Brady's guitar strings broke, so she put a new one on. Brady 的一条吉他弦断了，所以他换了一条新的哦。
So string is a noun, although it can be a verb too. A string is a long piece of cotton or other material, often used for tying things together. Your shoes might have strings. We call those shoelaces. You can use string to tie things together or to hang things, or in musical instruments. String has many different uses.
And we mentioned the word frame in the last sentence. Frame 在这里就是指支架或是结构，它是一个名词哦。
Yeah, a frame is a large square or rectangle with the middle part cut out. We often put photographs or paintings in frames to keep them safe. It's also a word we use in photography. If you're taking photos, you want to make sure everything is in the frame. That means inside the area where the picture will be taken. Well, back to the article and more about how this instrument is used. Musicians have written beautiful songs for this instrument.
Wow.
Its sound is magical and sweet.
Okay, I'll take that back. I do want to learn it now. 所以音乐家为了这个乐器，还特地写了美妙的、美丽的歌曲，因为它的声音是有怎么样，很有魔力，很奇妙又很甜哦。现在让我觉得说，我更好奇它到底多厉害，我想要来学哦。我们先来看一下刚刚提到的 musician 这个字吧。Music 是音乐，可是注意哦。当它变成音乐家的时候，它的 C 是发 S 的音 musician 就是音乐家，它是一个名词。像我真的很喜欢莫扎特 I love Mozart. He was a brilliant musician. 他是一个超厉害、超棒的音乐家。那我们来看一下课文例句提到的 A musician often plays beautiful music at this nice restaurant. 这家高级餐厅里常常有一位音乐家演奏美妙的音乐。
A musician is a person who makes music. You could be a professional musician, which means it's probably your job to make music and that's how you earn money. Or you could be an amateur musician. That just means you do it for fun.
对，你可以是专业的或者是业余的 OK 我们来看一下 magical 刚刚有提到的其实大家可能会觉得它是不是有魔术没有啦它也有奇妙的或是有魔力很有魅力这样的意思哦它是一个形容词
Right, so from the word magical we might guess that it has
Harry
something
Potter.
Yeah, to do with magic which it can have this meaning
Right?
If something is described as magical like a magic spell
Oh.
It's because it's about or has magic Although we can use this word just to describe something that makes us feel a special way
Yes.
as if magic was used.
Wow.
So maybe some sounds might be described as magical because they're so good they must have been made with magic.
Wow.
I wish magic was real, don't you?
Same.
If magic was real, I would cast spells on my friends to make them happy.
Oh, that's good. Or I want to make myself invisible. Because sometimes I just want to be left alone and just, chill.
That's a good magical ability. Okay, well, back to the article. The sound of the water phone is similar to a glass harmonica.
Interesting. OK, 所以呢，我们刚刚提到的 waterphone 水琴，它的声音有一点像这个玻璃琴。Be similar to 这个片语就是与什么相似。比方像是，如果今天 Reese 提到一个点子，一个 idea， 我可能觉得，这跟我的有点类似哦。Your idea is quite similar to mine. Great minds think alike.
That happens all the time.
I know.
Well, back to the article and maybe something surprising about this new instrument. However, it's much creepier. You play it with a violin bow.
That sounds weird.
Yeah, it's strange
I
to
can't
describe
imagine that.
an
对啊
instrument as
好搞
creepy.
笑哦！然而它是比较诡异的哦，因为呢，你可以用小提琴的弓来弹奏它，是不是听起来怪怪的呢 ？Creepy 这个字呢，通常我们就是指令人毛骨悚然的或是怪异的这样的意思哦。它是一个形容词，比方像是如果有人用一种可能有一些你不认识的人，他们可能对你的眼神有点不舒服 ，Yeah， 就这样盯着。There's something creepy about the way he looks at me. Grace， 你可以不要做那么像吗 ？That looks creepy.
Creepy is a fun word. Creepy means kind of scary, right?
对
Something that's weird and makes you feel uncomfortable and fearful.
Right.
We don't like creepy things.
Exactly. Okay. But we also saw another word power word, which is the word bow. So let's take a look. Bow. OK， 注意哦 ，bow 在本课是当作弦乐器的弓 ，OK， 它是个名词。最让我想到的第一个例子就是 violins are played with bows， 小提琴是用琴弓来演奏的。那我们来看一下课文例句，同样也是提到小提琴的弓哦。Sam forgot his violin bow, so he had to borrow one during music class.Sam 他忘了他的小提琴弓，所以他在音乐课上需要借用一把。
So the word bow is a noun, B-O-W. Be careful, it's spelled the same as the word bow, which is a verb that means to do this. But they sound very different. A bow is a thing that's made of wood and string, or sometimes even hair, that you use to shoot arrows.But in music, a bow is a thing that you pull across the instrument to make sounds. Violins have bows, and so do erhus, right?
二胡，对，好像是欸。
Yeah.
而且你刚刚提到那个弓箭的弓，其实也是 bow。
Right, in Chinese it's the same character.
Same thing, 弓。
In English it's the same word.
Interesting.
2 words for the price of
Yay.
one.
Okay.
Well, the article tells us more about this strange instrument.It has water inside of it to change the sound. The musician moves the water phone around to use the water in this way.
这个真的很有趣，我真的也是一样要 Google 来了解有关这个 waterphone。他说它里面的水是用来改变声音，所以音乐家以移动水琴的方式使水晃动，然后发出不同的声响。
My dad is really good at using, like a big glass of water. And if you kind of wet your finger and move your finger around the top.
我都不能欸，我都没有声音欸。
Oh, my dad is so good. And if you have the water at different levels, it produces different sounds. And actually, some people make musical instruments out of just having, maybe 10 glasses or with different levels of water.
I know, I've seen people doing that, but I don't know. I can never make that sound.
It's pretty hard.
好难哦。
Well, the article continues and kind of wraps up here. It says, listen to some music that uses any of these instruments. See how they make you feel.
对呀，听听看以上这些我们提到今天的这个很奇特的乐器，它的音乐吧，来看看它们令你感觉如何哦。这里 see how they make you feel， 当我们用 how 或者是 what。Where 或是 WH 的名词子句做受词当间接问句的用法，就是我们今天 Magic Box 要教大家的哦。Magic Box
Magic Box
哎呦，12月一定要听我的歌啊！哎，你竟然不认识我吗？我可是大名鼎鼎的玛丽亚·凯莉。哎呦，我有这么资深吗？那天在路上听到店里面在播我的歌，竟然有人不知道我是谁耶！然后呢，他说 I don't know what her name is。哎呀，竟然不知道我的名字，我真的是太受伤了。实不相瞒，我现在还在疗伤当中。但是呢，就让我化悲愤为力量，用这个句子来教你一下英文里面间接问句的用法吧。 大家可能呢都认识疑问词了，比方说呢 what, where, when, OK， 什么东西在哪里，什么时候等等哦，这些疑问词呢就用来提问。那间接问句是什么意思呢？顾名思义，就不是直接用疑问词来提问了。疑问词所引导的疑问句呢，就被放到句子中间，当作名词子句的功能。这时候呢，它就是间接问句啦。比方说呢，我们开头的这一句了 ，I don't know what her name is。OK， 本来啊，她叫什么名字？如果我们是直接问句的话，应该是问 What is her name？OK， 她叫什么名字？但是啊，我们把这个问句呢放到了句子中间了。I don't know， 我不知道 what her name is， 她的名字是什么 ？I don't know what her name is， 这个呢就是间接问句了。那间接问句要怎么形成呢？除了把疑问词引导的问句放到句子中间之外，有注意到吗？本来我们是说 What is her name？OK， 我们呢把这个 be 动词倒装放到前面哦。当它是间接问句的时候呢，它就变成了 I don't know what her name is。没有错，当间接问句的时候呢，倒装啊，它就恢复原状了。所以呢，当它是 be 动词的问句的时候呢，我们就直接回复，变成了 What her name is。OK， 那如果呢，今天啊是搭配助动词的问句呢，要怎么变化？这时候呢，我们就要看是哪一个助动词了。如果呢是像是 do、does 或者是 did，OK， 这一组呢，我们直接变成原本没有助动词的状况就可以了。什么意思呢？比方说啊，本来我们的问句应该是 When did they arrive？OK， 他们什么时候会抵达呢？间接问句的话呢，我们就变成了 Do you know when they arrived？OK， 你知道他们什么时候抵达吗？注意到 did 有过去式在里面了，所以呢，我们的这个动词呢，直接变成过去简单式。这一组呢比较特别哦，其他的助动词就比较简单了。比方说呢，像是 will，OK， 表示未来将要去做的这一组，我们就直接变成一般的写法就可以了。比方说啊 ，Please let me know when he will finish the meeting。请让我知道他什么时候会议会结束。OK， 问句呢原本是倒装的 ，When will he finish the meeting？ 间接问句就变回来 ，When he will finish the meeting。其他呢，像是 has、have，OK， 这些助动词啊，就跟 will 或是 be 动词一样，调整位置就可以了。间接问句的用法呢，希望你也记起来啦。
Review time.
Thank you, Magic Box. Let's dive straight into our review time activity. We've got a fill in the blanks game here where you're going to have a sentence with a space and you've got to put one of those word power words in it to complete it. Are you ready for the challenge?
Okay, I think I am.
You always do.
I'm usually
so well.
very good though.
You're usually so good. Okay, let's try this one. Eating in restaurants is very blank as I don't have to spend time cooking and cleaning.
我也很喜欢在餐厅用餐，因为它非常的怎么样？我不用怎么样花时间煮饭，或者是可能洗碗盘 ，convenient， 很方便。
Very, very 方便。I love eating in restaurants.
对。
Okay, let's try this one. My cat loves to play with long pieces of blank.
这听起来就是猫咪会很喜欢，可能是线吧 ，strings.
Yes, exactly. Especially if there's something attached to the end. My cat loves it.
So cute.
Let's try this one. I want to be a blank who plays music in theaters.
Music 这个字就有一点暗示，我这个答案应该是我想要成为一个 musician 音乐家。
Very good. Let's try one more. When you pull the blank across the violin, it will make sounds.
这里我们就提到violin 它有什么东西呢？ A bow. When you pull the bow across the violin， 这个弓。
There we are. We've got some useful vocabulary words there, mostly related to music. I hope you find a chance to use them. That's all we have for today. Maybe you can go and Google some of those instruments and take in their interesting sounds. But for now, from Laura and I, we'll say goodbye. See you next time.
Love you.
check out these strange musical instruments. Warm-up question. How many instruments can you name in English? How about in Chinese?
Kalimbas and handpans are convenient due to their size. Let's learn about some larger, stranger instruments. The glass harmonica is a little like a piano. It doesn't have strings inside its large wooden frame, though. It has glass bowls. Musicians have written beautiful songs for this instrument. Its sound is magical and sweet. The sound of the waterphone is similar to a glass harmonica. However, it's much creepier. You play it with a violin bow. It has water inside of it to change the sound. The musician moves the waterphone around to use the water in this way. Listen to some music that uses any of these instruments. See how they make you feel.
Word power. Convenient. Convenient. The MRT is a convenient way to travel around the city. The MRT is a convenient way to travel around the city. String. String. One of Brady's guitar strings broke, so she put a new one on. One of Brady's guitar strings broke, so she put a new one on. Musician. Musician. A musician often plays beautiful music at this nice restaurant. A musician often plays beautiful music at this nice restaurant. Bow. Bow. Sam forgot his violin bow, so he had to borrow one during music class. Sam forgot his violin bow, so he had to borrow one during music class.
认识字汇 Due to. Due to.
Frame. Frame.
Magical. Magical.
Creepy. Creepy.